He writes, in colonial society, a married woman had virtually no rights at all. The revolution did little to change this. Then Jefferson's Declaration of Independence was only for the white males, not for women. Even white women, not for them. And it is stated in James Burns' writes in The Government by the People, 15th edition, Prentice Hall, published in 1993, page 117. He says the declaration refers to men or him, not to the women. And then they say early American men would not accept the women, them as equals. Still it is written by John Blum, The National Experience, A History of the United States, page 266. In 19th century, the American ladies, the champion of the American ladies' rights, Susan B. Anthony, she was sent to jail in 1872. Anthony was sent to jail. She was given a punishment just because of the crime of casting the vote, because she had no legal right to cast the vote as a lady, as a woman, and she violated the law. Then 4th of June 1919, American Congress and Senate, they approved the 19th Amendment of Constitution, and there they abolished the discrimination of sex. Just 90 years before, today 90 years before, the women in America got the right to vote, and they were accepted as a legal person. In France, in 1848, their new democracy was declared, but women had no right to vote. They got this vote in 1944 in France. In Australia, the women got the right to vote in 1921. The first lady was elected through this vote. New Zealand, the women got the right to vote in 1893. Finland in 1906. Norway in 1907. I'm talking of when the ladies and women got the right to vote and they were accepted as legal persons in these countries. Denmark in 1915. Germany 1918. Austria 1919. Canada 1919. Netherlands 1990, Belgium 1919, Switzerland 1971, Ireland 1918, Luxembourg 1919, Spain 1931, New Zealand 1893, Greece 1927, Poland 1918, Brazil 1937. I have given the list of 144 countries, quoting the dates when these countries' constitution provided the women right to vote. This is my own book on human rights. My own book on human rights. After concluding this aspect, now let us come to the Islamic position. You have followed that in all countries of the Western world, the history when women were accepted as a legal person and they were granted a right to vote, this history does not go back than 100 years or 125 years, whereas go behind 15 centuries behind, in the period of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Quran was revealed on him, and 14 centuries before, Quran and Prophet Muhammad declared the woman as a legal person. by the words Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu iza ja'akal mu'minatu yubayyina. Here in this verse, the ladies were declared as a legal person by Holy Quran, and they were given all legal rights. They were given the political rights. While developing the structure of Islamic State, Holy Prophet ﷺ appointed some ladies in his governmental structure what to talk of right to vote. Ladies were appointed as member of the parliament. Ladies were appointed as the officers. Ladies were appointed as the administrators in the administrative structure of state of Medina. Hazrat Shifa bint Abdullah Adawiyya, she was appointed as a judge of accountability court and market administration. Judge of the court. Ladies were appointed as ambassadors, as diplomats. In the period of Sayyidina Usman, Hazrat Kulthum, daughter of Sayyidina Ali, she was sent as a diplomat, as an ambassador to the Queen of Roman Empire. A lady was sent as the ambassador to the Queen of Roman Empire. Quoted by Tabari, Tarikhul Umam wal Muluk. Women were given the offices and responsibilities in military and army services, in military expeditions and defense-related services. They were given the offices. It is quoted in Sahih Bukhari. It is narrated by Anas ibn Malik. When Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha had been performing the duties in the battle of Uhud, Atiyah says that I participated in 7 battles myself along with other ladies. They were appointed as the military officers in military expeditions. The legal status of women was so much protected and highlighted that in the days of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if any woman granted a legal protection to any person in her house, the state was under an obligation to respect that commitment. Hazrat Zainab granted protection to her husband Abul As, and the state accepted this protection. It is quoted in Ibn Hisham. Sayyidina Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala narrates, he reports from Holy Prophet, it comes in Tirmizi as-Sunan. Holy Prophet said, if a woman wants to give a legal protection to the whole community of her, whole community, she is legally entitled to give the guaranteed protection to the whole community. And that would be regarded valid by the state. Comes in Tirmizi as-Sunan and Musnad Ahmad bin Hanbal. Holy Prophet declared this right of women. Holy Prophet said, again Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha reports in Abu Dawood as-Sunan. She says, Holy Prophet ﷺ said that even if a woman wants to provide protection to anyone, it would be absolutely legal and it would be respected by the state of the time. Then the women were granted, they had to play a very pivotal role in Islamic society. They were the member of parliament in the parliament of Sayyidina Farooq Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. When Sayyidina Umar placed a bill and he wanted to place a limitation on dowry. He wanted to limit the dowry. A woman stood up in the parliament of Muhajirin and Ansar and she said, "Oh Umar, Almighty Allah has not fixed any limitation on the dowry, on mahr. Who are you to limit it?" Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala asked,